Hey Aries, and welcome to your December 2016 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky, and I'm here to give you guys hopefully another amazing reading. Before I start it though, I wanted to update you guys on some of the changes that will be happening for my channel and my shop with the new year. So on my channel, I'm going to be starting an Introduction to Tarot series where I talk about my experience with the tarot, the archetypes in general, individual cards, and the wisdom and experience that I've gained through my work with the tarot. If that's something that does interest you guys, please like or comment on this video about it so I can know that my audience is interested. Okay, and then on my shop, I'm going to be raising my rate that I charge for private readings due to the volume of clients who are seeking out readings with me, and also due to how busy I will be at the start of the new year. It was just that time, it was something that I had to do. And I did want to say, however, that if you book a reading with me now in December before my rate goes up, you will permanently retain that rate for your future readings. I always allow that my clients to retain the price that they seek me out at. So again, if that's something that interests you, jump over to my shop, which is linked in the description box below and in the cards, and book a reading with me to retain that rate. So anyway, without further ado, let's see what's happening for Aries in the month of December. So wow, there's a lot of fire energy and a little bit of water energy, but it looks like you guys will really be embracing your inner fieriness and your expansive ability, your passion, your energy, and your endurance. You're going to be really taking on something new that relates to those types of things. I see a lot of Aries potentially starting some kind of competition, maybe running a marathon, a 5K, some kind of new exercise regimen, but something is really competitive. And if some of the Aries aren't doing that, it's very supported. And I know you guys are so athletic. Aries is probably the most athletic sign of the zodiac and has such good physical ability. So you guys have the Knight of Wands right at the center of your reading. You've got the Princess of Pentacles, which is Earth, but I'll get more into how I kind of consider that to be a fiery influence as well. And you've got the Nine of Wands in reversed and the Five of Wands, which is all about competition. So the Five of Wands can also be like fighting. So it says to me that you need to channel some pent-up aggression that you have in some kind of sport or competitive something, because the Five of Wands can also be extreme, like tension and quarreling and, even physical fights. So watch out for that. You guys don't have a lot of swords energy, which I would want to see for like, that mental break that causes sometimes people to get into like a major physical confrontation. But you guys are just going to be really aggressive because, again, you've got that Knight of Wands right there in the middle, which is all about like that energy that boils over inside of you and causes you to like reach out and charge forward into some kind of, fiery, aggressive pursuit. And that's why it's going to be so good for you guys to do some kind of competitive sport or something in December, or to make plans to do that. And the Princess of Pentacles for me, or the Page of Pentacles as it is in the Rider-Waite deck, this does talk about like money that could be involved with a competition. Maybe some Aries are involved in some kind of like non-physical competition where there's like money on the line, like some kind of like writing competition or something like that. And it's like you're really starting to hone in on your competitive spirit, even though it's not like a physical sport. That could be for some Aries too. Do be careful for sports-related injuries in December. You've got the Nine of Wands in reversed, which can sometimes be like overtraining. Like for the athletes out there, if you are really overdoing it, you might start to see that. You might start to see like an increased heart rate, or like make sure you're not overtraining, because it could be like, it could affect your heart or just your ability to be able to do this in the future. So do watch out for that. I don't think it's going to be anything too bad. You guys don't have any like major arcana that would represent some major problem happening in your life. So I don't think there are going to be any acute injuries or anything, but it could be something that's on your mind. And you guys have the Two of Cups too, which how beautiful that y'all have that. You could potentially meet somebody while you're doing this competitive event, or there's something about this sports or and if you're not in a sport or you're not in some kind of competitive event, let's also kind of translate this over to any project that you're passionate about, anything that you're taking on. This could be a new job, which can also have a sense of competition to it. Anything that you can really apply competition to, because this is a general reading. And if it's not applicable, make sure you're watching your rising and moon sign. Those can always have a lot of impact as well. You guys may be meeting somebody in this competitive field, and make sure that, and I don't think that this would be, but make sure that this person isn't trying to like seduce you to get the upper hand in the competition. Do watch out for that, just because everything is so competitive in December. So, and I think that's some good news for some Aries out there, because if you guys don't have that sense of competition in your life, you can feel quite directionless and motionless. So one way or another, you guys are definitely going to have your like passion back and your aggression and your inner ability to move forward. Because that brings me right on to the last card that I haven't talked about. You've got the Fool, which is your only major arcana card for December. And it is in reverse, but I don't necessarily see that as a negative thing for this reading, because it says to me that you might try to harness some of this energy. Like the Fool reversed is kind of like, I always like to say, because in the Fool you see that guy who's like at the edge of the cliff, and he's like, he can't decide whether he wants to like jump off into the deep end. He can't decide if he wants to kind of jump off into this like this new chapter. And I always relate it to like a cat that's like thrown off of a high place, like they're like clawing their way and they're like, no, I don't want to fall, and they don't let themselves fall. That can sometimes be the way the Fool reversed is. It's like, you know that you have to jump off and you know that you're going to fall, but you kind of like struggle with it. So as that relates to what we're talking about, maybe anything that you're doing that's too drastic or too over the top, you might have a little bit of balance there, and you might be able to realize what's a little bit overboard and what's more within your reach. So hopefully the Fool reversed will kind of balance some of this aggressive energy that you have moving into December. Okay, and for those of my viewers who are not Aries, now would probably not be the time to try and, start a battle with Aries. Because I know that I get a lot of viewers who might be looking at videos, for their loved ones or for people in their life to kind of see what energies are coming up for them too, which I completely support. But don't start battles with Aries in December, because you will most likely lose, whether or not that's fair, because Aries doesn't have a lot of karmic energy in their reading. They don't have like a judgment or a death or a, any of those like late, well, you got the Nine of Wands, but any of those like the World, the Tower, heavy karmic energies are not here. So even if the Aries is in the wrong, they have a lot of power to get what they want this month. So if you're trying to start a battle with Aries, I would wait to a more convenient time, because it's not a good strategy to start that in December, because Aries are going to be winning a lot of things in December. So and they'll have a fighting spirit that's nearly impossible to extinguish. So don't start any battles with Aries in December. And another reason not to do that is because Aries just has a lot of confidence. Like, you guys are finally kind of getting your finances together too. There's not a lot of energy about finances, which is why I think that they're not really a problem. And the only finance-related card that you have is the Page or the Princess of Pentacles, which says like a sudden burst. Like you've got a small amount of money, or a relatively small amount of money, that really helped there be no problems or worries for December. And if you haven't, it's coming. But don't spend in advance. You don't want to find yourself in a situation where that's not useful to you, because you just have to put it back out there. But other than that, there aren't any financial energies. So Aries isn't worrying about money in December. And when Aries isn't worrying about money, then they're really a force to be reckoned with, because they don't have to put all their energy to working, because Aries sometimes find themselves in that situation where they have to expend all of their creative, fiery energy on paying the bills. So that doesn't seem to be an issue this month for Aries. So again, don't start a battle with them, because they don't have a lot of other things to be expending their energy on. And this could go the opposite direction. If Aries get too pent up, you're that Mars sign. If someone gives you like the least amount of like difficult energy, you may want to like get in a fight with them. You may want to like bite their head off and you might be unconsciously seeking out confrontations. So watch out for that. That's definitely a possibility. And it's not very conscious, I don't think, because I see you getting into that confrontation, then all of a sudden wanting to back out, like you've got the fool in reverse. Like once you jump over that cliff, you're like, no, I don't want to do this. This isn't fair. I don't want to get in this confrontation with this person. So, be aware of that and, think before you jump for sure. That's a big message for Aries in December. Think before you jump. Think before you leap, that type of thing. Because you could be very impulsive, okay? Watch out for impulsivity. You've got all this fire energy, and one of them crowning your reading is kind of a difficult fiery energy and can lead you feeling like bruised and tattered and worse for wear, and it is reversed. So, on the positive side, I want to interpret that as really making good progress in some kind of competitive athletic field where your body is really starting to, through the soreness and through the pain, become more what you want it to be. But on the negative side, this could see you making some mistakes about confrontation and feeling either physically or emotionally exhausted. So watch out for that. But I'm just so happy that you guys have the Two of Cups. It's like that cools everything down a little bit. You've got all these fiery hot energies, and the Two of Cups is just, it's one of the most powerful minor arcana cards in my opinion, and it's all about that glacial, icy energy that you experience through romance. And that's going to sound kind of strange because a lot of people think of romance as a hot, passionate type of thing. But if you'll notice, there's also a very cold aspect to it. And that's where the Two of Cups that's what it's all about. It's those contrasts. And, it couldn't be very hot or exciting if it wasn't also very cold and icy. So I'm just happy that that archetype is there for you guys because it's going to cool down some of this extreme heat, and there could be a lot of really powerful base root chakra energy, like Kundalini type energy coming forward for Aries in December. So and that's good for you guys, because I think for the last 2 months what I remember of Aries reading is that it's there may have been some major arcana and stuff. I don't remember some of the specific cards, but I don't remember them feeling extremely energetic to me. I always remember really strong readings, and this one's going to be one that I remember for a while because it's just so energetic. And I think that that's good for you guys. I think things may have been a bit monotonous or just not exciting to you guys for a little while for the recent past, but that's changing in December, and you guys are really finding your more than passion. I don't really like the word passion sometimes. It's so passion, okay. But it's the next level of that. It's your drive, your push forward, you're rediscovering that in December, and it makes me really happy for you guys. And I guess my final message for you guys is to embrace that. Try to channel it positively into something that garners positive results. Beware of channeling it in confrontation with your loved ones or confrontation with anybody, really, because you could find yourself worse for wear and bruised, and even if you win, because you'll probably win. I think victory and winning is probably a thing for December, but, it might be one of those situations where you win, but you don't actually win. You technically win, but you feel as if you've lost. So, if you're not channeling this energy positively, you might find yourself in that situation, okay? But it's kind of there's a major saving grace with the Two of Cups. You might find yourself in a romantic situation where you question how you've been aggressive towards other people or how you've fought the battles in your life, and that icy, root, that hot, because when you touch ice, it's kind of a burning sensation too, so that icy, really burning root chakra energy is going to be very helpful. It's going to give you some balance and experience of the other end of the spectrum. So that's really great for you guys, and I'm really happy because I think that things are going to happen. You're going to have stories to tell about December, that's for sure. I feel a lot of things are going to go down. Some could be positive, some could be negative, but it's going to be very eventful, that's for sure. I really enjoyed doing this reading for you guys. If it really resonated for you, you can jump over to my shop and purchase a private reading with me to retain my rate with what it is now. And Also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, there will be a lot of really fun new content coming in the new year, so I totally recommend you guys to do that, and I so appreciate the support that I get from your likes, your subscriptions, and your comments, and your donations. And I am looking so forward to the new year and bringing you guys some really fun content. So I will see you guys on the other end of it. Have a great month.